There was a time when human life moved more slowly. Not necessarily easier, not necessarily better, but slower. Letters took days to arrive. Conversations were longer. Waiting was normal. Silence was common. And many parts of life unfolded gradually rather than instantly. Today, almost everything moves differently. Information travels instantly. Food arrives within minutes. Entertainment never stops. Messages appear immediately. Answers arrive before questions are even fully formed. Modern life has become built around speed. And slowly, human beings are adapting to that speed in ways many people barely notice. Attention is shortening. Tolerance for discomfort is weakening. Waiting feels emotionally exhausting. And patience, once considered a basic human virtue, now feels almost unnatural to many people. Not because people are weak, but because modern systems increasingly condition human beings to expect immediacy, immediate stimulation, immediate results, immediate validation, immediate distraction from discomfort. And perhaps this is why patience feels so difficult today, because patience requires something modern culture rarely encourages anymore: the ability to remain emotionally steady while life unfolds slowly. Patience has never simply meant waiting. It means remaining psychologically grounded during uncertainty. A patient person does not become calm because life is perfectly controlled. They remain calm because they understand something important. Not everything meaningful in human life can be rushed. Healing takes time. Trust takes time. Wisdom takes time. Growth takes time. Relationships take time. Recovery takes time. Even understanding ourselves takes time. But modern life often teaches the opposite lesson. Everything is optimized for acceleration. Faster communication, faster consumption, faster reactions, faster success, faster emotional gratification. And slowly, many people begin experiencing slowness almost as a threat. A delayed response creates anxiety. A quiet moment creates restlessness. Progress that unfolds gradually begins feeling emotionally unbearable. Many people no longer struggle only with waiting. They struggle with existing peacefully while waiting. And perhaps that distinction matters more than we realize. Modern culture often celebrates urgency. People are praised for multitasking, constant productivity, non-stop responsiveness, rapid decision-making, and endless activity. Busyness becomes associated with importance. Slowness becomes associated with falling behind. And over time, many people internalize the fear that if they slow down, life itself may leave them behind. But this constant urgency comes with psychological consequences. The nervous system never fully settles. The mind remains overstimulated. Attention becomes fragmented. And emotional tolerance weakens. Because patience is not only a moral quality, it is a nervous system capacity. A person constantly overstimulated by noise, notifications, pressure, comparison, and emotional activation will naturally struggle to remain patient. The modern human mind is rarely allowed to rest long enough to rebuild emotional steadiness, and eventually, impatience begins spreading into every part of life. People become impatient with relationships, learning, healing, conversations, aging, silence, uncertainty, and even themselves. Many people now expect personal transformation to happen as quickly as downloading an application. But human growth has never worked that way. Inner life does not move at technological speed. Patience once played a much deeper role in human life. It taught people endurance, perspective, emotional regulation, and humility. A patient person understands that not every answer appears immediately. Not every season of life feels productive. Not every problem resolves quickly. And not every difficult emotion needs instant escape. But modern systems profit from emotional impatience. An impatient mind consumes more, clicks more, reacts more, purchases more, scrolls more. Because impatience keeps people psychologically unsettled. And unsettled people are easier to stimulate continuously. This creates an environment where many human beings begin losing their ability to tolerate boredom, uncertainty, stillness, delayed gratification, and emotional discomfort. Yet these experiences once played an important role in psychological maturity. Because patience is not developed during comfort, it is developed during delay, during uncertainty, during moments when life refuses to move according to personal preference. And perhaps this is why patience feels increasingly rare today. Modern culture trains people to escape discomfort immediately instead of learning how to remain steady inside it. A patient mind experiences time differently, not slower in a literal sense, but deeper. A patient person notices more. They listen more carefully, observe more thoughtfully, react less impulsively. They understand that some things become clearer only after emotion settles. But impatience narrows perception. It pushes people toward quick conclusions, emotional reactivity, shallow understanding, and rushed decisions. Many conflicts in modern life are intensified not simply by disagreement, but by impatience itself. People interrupt before listening fully, react before understanding, judge before reflecting. And in a world constantly accelerating emotional reactions, patience becomes almost rebellious, because patience creates space between feeling and reacting, hearing and judging, discomfort and escape. And within that space, clarity becomes possible. Perhaps this is why so many people feel emotionally exhausted today, not only because life is difficult, but because the modern nervous system is rarely allowed to slow down long enough to recover. Everything competes for immediate attention. Everything demands urgency. Everything encourages reaction. And slowly, many people begin living in a permanent state of low-level emotional acceleration, always checking, always refreshing, always anticipating, always mentally moving toward the next thing. But human beings were never designed to live entirely without pauses, without waiting, without stillness, without emotional recovery. And maybe patience is not simply about becoming slower, but about learning how to remain internally steady in a world addicted to speed. Patience also changes relationships. A patient person allows conversations to unfold naturally, allows people room to grow, allows misunderstanding to be clarified before immediately assuming the worst. But impatience often transforms relationships into emotional transactions. Quick responses become expected. Instant emotional reassurance becomes demanded. Minor discomfort quickly escalates into conflict. And many people unknowingly bring the speed of digital life into human relationships that require a completely different rhythm. Real trust develops slowly. Deep understanding develops slowly. Emotional intimacy develops slowly. But modern culture often leaves people emotionally unprepared for slow human processes, because technology trains people to expect efficiency, while relationships require patience with imperfection. And perhaps many people are not only losing patience with life, they are losing patience with being human. There is another hidden cost to impatience. Impatience quietly damages presence. A person constantly rushing mentally rarely experiences the present moment fully. Even during meaningful experiences, the mind moves ahead, toward the next task, the next notification, the next goal, and the next distraction. And eventually, life itself begins feeling strangely distant. Not because moments disappeared, but because attention never fully arrived inside them. Patience reconnects people with presence. It allows deeper listening, fuller observation, emotional grounding, and greater appreciation for ordinary life. A slow walk, a meaningful conversation, a quiet evening, a reflective morning. These moments often appear insignificant to an impatient mind, but over time, they become the very experiences that restore emotional balance. Because human beings do not find peace only through achievement. Sometimes peace emerges through learning how to stop fighting the natural pace of life itself. Patience does not mean becoming passive. It does not mean lacking ambition or avoiding growth. True patience is active. It is disciplined emotional steadiness, the willingness to continue, learning, healing, growing, and building meaning without demanding immediate results from every effort. And perhaps one of the greatest forms of modern wisdom is learning this. A meaningful life cannot be forced into constant acceleration without psychological cost. Some things in life require waiting, repetition, uncertainty, reflection, and trust in gradual progress. Not because life is inefficient, but because human depth grows slowly. Patience may be one of the lost human skills most necessary to recover today. In a world obsessed with speed, urgency, and instant gratification, patience restores something many people quietly miss: inner steadiness. And perhaps patience is not simply the ability to wait. Perhaps patience is the ability to remain emotionally grounded while life unfolds at its natural pace instead of demanding that every moment satisfy us immediately, because not everything meaningful arrives quickly, and maybe some of the deepest parts of human life were never meant to. If this reflection resonated with you, welcome back to The Lost Human Skills, a documentary series exploring the forgotten human capacities that once gave life greater depth, emotional balance, wisdom, and meaning in a fast-moving modern world.